We've seen defendants show up to court in pajamas, bathrobes, and even via Zoom from the passenger seat of a car while driving on a suspended license. But this next case might be the first time in legal history a defendant tried to bring a secret identity into a felony hearing. Meet Troy Tomlin. He isn't here for a traffic ticket or a noise complaint. He's standing in a Tennessee courtroom facing some of the most stomach-turning charges on the books: aggravated statutory rape and the sexual exploitation of a minor. You'd think a man facing a potential life sentence would be on his absolute best behavior, doing everything possible to show the court he respects the gravity of the law. But Troy had a different vision for his day in court, one that involved spandex and a secret identity.
Of the court's docket.
Why are you wearing a Spider-Man outfit underneath your shirt to court?
I was going for Comic-Con after this.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what let's do. Let's let you go outside the courtroom into the men's room. Take off the Spider-Man uniform underneath your shirt. Come back with a t-shirt on. At least that's a little more decent. You can always put your Spider-Man costume back on when you go to Comic-Con. Where are they having Comic-Con?
In Nashville.
And when does it start?
Around 6.
See, let me just tell you a little bit about something. I know you're a relatively, by my standards, a young man, but I'm going to give you a piece of advice. You're coming into court today, and you're facing a charge. Now, this is Mr. Tomlin, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Pardon? And Mr. Tomlin, you're charged here with aggravated statutory rape by force and 2 counts of exploitation of a minor. So you're facing prison for an extended period of time. So when you come to court, you might want to give some thought to how seriously you're taking this and what you're projecting when you wear a comic book costume to come in front of a judge who can put you in prison for almost the rest of your life. You understand that? So you might want to think about this being taken by you more seriously. You have a very good attorney. Mr. Howard and his staff at the public defender's office do the best they can do for their clients. But they can't help someone who wants to clown it up and come to court and act like a fool because they want to dress up like they're going to a Comic-Con convention. On a charge like this, you're charged with sexual exploitation of minors. There's hardly, other than first-degree murder, a case that I think is more serious. What are we doing with Mr. Tomlin's case?
I was going to alert the court that the state has made a plea offer. We have discussed that. However, Mr. Tomlin alerted me Friday that he would like to retain counsel at this point, and he would request more time for that.
No, I'm going to disagree with that. He's set for trial Friday, and he'll go to trial Friday, or he'll accept that plea. You can decide what you want to do, Mr. Tomlin, but your case is set for trial on Friday, and I'm not going to continue it just because you decided at the last minute you didn't like what your attorney is telling you. We're taking a recess.
All rise.
The absolute audacity is breathtaking. While the district attorney is preparing a case that could end Troy's freedom forever, Troy is apparently worried about making it to Nashville in time for the cosplay masquerade. He's standing before a judge, accused of crimes against children, while literally dressed as a character whose entire brand is being a hero to children. Notice Judge David Wolf's face. He's been on the bench for years, and he's seen it all, or so he thought. But web-slinger reality is a first. In a moment of extreme patience, the judge decides to give Troy one last chance to act like a functioning adult. He orders him to head to the restroom and strip off the superhero gear so the court can proceed with a shred of dignity. But then, the situation moves from weird to missing persons report.
I am going to believe it.
We've seemed to have lost Spider-Man.
Check the balls.
He's not inconspicuous.
Well, my intention was, and if we can locate him, I intend to make a condition of his bond that he not attend Comic-Con. And so you might want to contact him because I am going to put that down as an order. In my opinion, that anybody who has the judgment to show up for court with those type of charges, especially sexual exploitation of a minor in statutory rape, wearing a Spider-Man outfit, telling me he's going to Comic-Con, has no business being at Comic-Con where minor children might be gathered together. And
I understand completely, Your Honor. May we approach the state and I?
Yes. All right. Well, Mr. Tomlin has escaped the compound, so to speak, and we are proceeding with the assumption he will be going to trial on September the 22nd. And I don't know what else we had that
I
day.
was in the clerk's office.
Oh, good.
Oh, he's present.
Come on up, Mr. Tomlin.
Sorry, I was in the clerk's office making copies.
Yes.
For several long, awkward minutes, the courtroom is left in a state of confusion. Troy's own defense attorney is scanning the room like a parent who lost a toddler in a crowded mall. Did he climb out a window? Did he swing away on a web? The tension in the room is palpable as the judge's patience begins to evaporate. Eventually, Troy resurfaces, now dressed in civilian clothes. But the friendly neighborhood vibe is gone. Judge Wolf has had enough of the games. He realizes that Troy's choice of attire isn't just a fashion faux pas. It's a massive red flag regarding his judgment and his proximity to the very population his charges involve.
All right, Mr. Tomlin, you're set for trial on Friday. We're going to leave it set for trial on Friday. You can talk to your lawyer if you all reach an agreement. That's fine. But if you don't, we're going to go to trial. The state's ready, so you'll be going to trial on Friday. Now, the judge at this court has the inherent jurisdiction over bonding of defendants who are charged with offenses. There are a lot of factors that I consider, some of which are the likelihood of conviction, the nature of the offense that is charged. You are charged with aggravated statutory rape by force and 2 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. And therefore, this court is imposing an additional condition of your bond pending your trial, that you will not go to Comic-Con and you will not be around any gathering of minors.
That right there is a masterclass in judicial logic. The judge cuts straight to the heart of the matter. If you were accused of exploiting children and your first instinct is to dress as the beloved children's icon and head to a massive convention filled with thousands of minors, your moral compass isn't just broken, it's non-existent. The judge effectively grounded a grown man from a fan convention as a matter of public safety. And that main character energy Troy walked in with, it vanished the moment he realized Judge Wolf wasn't playing along. The reality of his situation finally began to set in.
For other individuals, but specifically, you are prohibited as a condition of your bond, in this case, from attending Comic-Con. I do that because of the nature of the offense, and anyone who shows the judgment that you have shown me today to show up in court facing these charges, wearing that outfit, indicates to me that you lack the substantial ability to make an informed decision on whether or not you should or should not be around those types of individuals. So I'm just going to fix it for you. You can't go to Comic-Con. If you do, I'm revoking your bond and you'll sit in jail till we set you a new trial date.
Yes, sir.
Right now, you're set for trial Friday. You and Mr. Howard can go out here and talk, and we'll see what you two work out.
Your Honor, and for the record, the state's generous offer, it only goes through Friday. If this case gets continued past this term, for whatever reason, that offer will be revoked.
Well,
Question. I have not seen the physical evidence. It's been against me. I've not seen whatever y'all have.
not y'all, the state has the evidence. I don't have the evidence.
Sorry. And then I have a surrogate over me. It's my wife. She's over me. And my mother was over me, but she's no longer over me.
You have been evaluated by order of the court and found to be competent to stand trial, so you will be going to trial on Friday unless you come to an agreement with the state.
And all So,
Mr. Howard, take him outside, y'all talk about it, and we'll see what you do from there. I have a recall on a Troy Tomlin, but that was the Spider-Man case, correct?
I think we've reached an agreement in that, subject to the court's approval.
In Mr. Tomlin's case?
Yes, sir.
Two boys. One door.
No, but I like it.
Are you kidding me? something.
Out of the building.
Check the walls.
The clerk's office, where he was last time.
I'm gonna go outside again and try to find Mr. Tomlin, Your Honor.
Yeah, that could be it.
Listen for silence.
If I don't do it, if I don't do it today, then I have to do it. If I don't do it today, then it's going to be in the morning.
We need to talk about
I'll do it today.
This is Mr. Tomlin before the court, Your Honor. Subject to the court's approval, he will be pleading guilty.
Realizing that the Spider-Man defense was a total non-starter and that the court was on to his antics, Troy finally threw in the towel. He accepted a plea deal, pleading guilty to 1 count of statutory rape and 2 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor.
Counts, I believe it's 1, 3, and 4, double check me. Count 2, I believe, would be dismissed. The agreement would be an open plea to be sentenced at a later date. Only agreement being that they would run concurrent. Within the range, the court would decide the term of his confinement.
In Your Honor, I've spoken acknowledging with the victim and her mother. I've talked about the likelihood of successful trial on all counts. And we talked about what the victim wishes to happen, and she is, we have her blessing on this plea agreement, and this is what she wants.
Fine. Mr. Tomlin, raise your right hand. Let's place you under oath.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this case be the truth, the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
State your full name for the record.
My name is Troy Tomlin Jr.
Mr. Tomlin, you may put your hand down, please. You are here today charged with aggravated statutory rape and 2 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, as well as a count of forcible rape. The agreement has been that the forcible rape will be dismissed, and you will be entering a plea of guilty to statutory rape and 2 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, all of which are Class D felonies. Do you understand what you're charged with, and have you talked it over with Mr. Howard? I know I've given you a couple of opportunities today to discuss it. Do you feel like you fully understand what's going on?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's indicated that you want to enter a plea of guilty. Do you understand you have a right to plead not guilty to all charges and have a speedy and public trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
You understand that if you went to trial, you would have the right to have an attorney, to have one appointed for you if necessary. We've done that with the public defender. You understand that if you went to trial, you would be presumed to be innocent until such time, if ever, the state proved your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt to the satisfaction of all 12 jurors, and their verdict would have to be unanimous. For all 12 of them would have to agree before you could be convicted of anything. You understand if you went to trial, you and your lawyer could confront and cross-examine all witnesses the state might call to testify against you, and you could bring in your own witnesses by the use of a subpoena. You understand that if you went to trial, you would be presumed to be innocent. You would not have to testify or prove anything, and there would be no inference of guilt that would arise because you did not testify at your own trial. You understand if you went to trial and you were found guilty, you could appeal that conviction and the sentence imposed to the Court of Criminal Appeals and have a lawyer appointed to help you with that appeal. You understand that if you enter this plea of guilty, you're waiving your right to a trial and to an appeal. And all I'm going to do is to approve what your lawyer's worked out. But that's going to mean that you're going to be going to a sentencing hearing for me to decide how you serve your sentence. Do you understand that? You understand everything I've explained to you thus far?
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to enter a plea of guilty according to this agreement?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand if you plead guilty, the court of the state could ask you questions about the agreement. If you answer the questions under oath on the record and in the presence of your lawyer, your answers could later be used against you in a prosecution for perjury if it turns out you were lying under oath. Is your decision to plead guilty today voluntary?
Yes, sir.
Anybody forcing you to do this? I failed to mention this, but do you understand that this is going to result in 3 felony convictions that are on your record in the future that will be there to make more severe the punishment that you'll receive if you're ever again convicted of a crime? You understand that? You understand everything I've explained to you thus far? Understand I can't accept your plea unless I'm satisfied you are guilty and that there are facts to support it.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to do a factual statement from the state since this is apparently a best interest plea, Mr. Brooks.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to allow the state to tell me what their evidence is going to be, would have been at trial. So if you'll listen closely.
Your Honor, this case would proceed to trial. The proof would show that the defendant and the juvenile that I will refer to as JB both worked at the Good Wings located here in Dixon County. They formed a consensual relationship through social media chats and subsequently had sexual intercourse at least one time behind the Good Wings somewhere in the woods. This was later, the defendant later made admissions to such in an interview with police. A search of the defendant's phone produced an image and a video of the victim, who is 14 years of age, and she was nude, showering in both the video and the pic. All this happened in Dixon County.
All right, I'm not asking that you agree with those terms, Mr. Tomlin, but do you understand that's what the state's evidence will be if you went to trial on these charges?
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to still enter a plea of guilty according to this agreement?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's services?
Yes, sir.
I feel like Mr. Howard has done a good job of representing you competently.
Yes, sir.
Howard, do you know of any reason you should not enter this plea?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right. Then Troy, anything further?
Your Honor, has the sex offender registry been mentioned?
It will have to be as a part of the sentence because of the nature of the charges, regardless of how he serves them. He'll be on the sex offender registry according to the law, and that will be obviously a requirement of this. Any questions, Mr. Howard?
He was asking about court costs, Your Honor. I told him we could swim.
Well, that'll be part of the sentence that's imposed as well. All right. Then Troy Allen Tomlin, Jr., upon your plea of guilty to count one, I find you guilty, in order that you be required to serve the sentence that will be determined by this court to be served at a sentencing hearing. Count 3 and count 4, count 2 being dismissed. In each of those cases, he will be found guilty and the sentence will be imposed at a sentencing hearing. By agreement, the counts will all run concurrently, and because it's a range 1 offender and they're all Class D, the term will be between 2 and 4 years. That will have to be determined how it's to be served.
Troy Tomlin walked into that courtroom thinking about photo ops and autographs. He walked out as a convicted felon. He won't be attending Comic-Con this year, or likely ever again, as his name will now be a permanent fixture on the Tennessee Sex Offender Registry. It's a stark reminder that in a court of law, you don't get to choose your own reality. Actions have consequences, and for Troy Tomlin, the mask has finally slipped for good. What do you think? Was the judge's ban on Comic-Con a fair reality check, or did the court overstep by banning him from a public event? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.